Mr. Patel, do you believe that background checks for firearm purchases are constitutional?
I don't know the in-depths of it, but I think that's what the Supreme Court has said, Senator.
So the word would be YES, yes. Can you say yes? Are background checks constitutional?
I can say whatever the Constitution and the Supreme Court ruled is the rule of the land.
And what is the law of the land at the moment?
I'm not an expert on state-by-state background checks.
You're going to be.
Should we talk about at the Gun Owners of America? Let's talk about one of the most important mission sets that's inscribed in ink in our Constitution, in the Second Amendment, in the Bill of Rights. I don't know too many other organizations in the United States of America that say their mandate comes literally from our founding fathers. That's how powerful this right is. But that's also how powerful the people on the other side who are coming for this right are working overtime to take it away from you. Tim talked about the deep state, and yes, there is a huge, massive organization in Washington, D.C., throughout this country that is representative by deep political money interests that are not in alignment with ours. So they will come for you. How's this 4 years been? How has it been for gun owners? How has my right enshrined in the Constitution been protected these last 4 years to protect my family, to protect my home? And do you want to roll the dice and say, if we elect Kamala Harris, what do you think they're going to do for you down the road? And what I mean by that is they're going to empower the agencies in government, the DEAs of the world, the ATFs of the world. The director of the ATF basically came out the other day and said he's all for a bump stock ban. This is a political appointee in Washington, D.C., who's supposed to be in charge of our constitutional right. This guy wants to take it away. They will put in $1 zillion behind this machinery to wipe out our rights under the Second Amendment. One of the things that shocked me the most at the Department of Justice was how many times I was told, we act here on tradition and principle. I said, what about the law? I thought we acted here on the law. That mandate that the Department of Justice created, that fiction that they created, has permeated through the DEA, the ATF, and so many other organizations to strip away your rights little by little by little by little. And none of it is the law. The counter mandate we have is the force of the founding fathers in the Second Amendment. That is more powerful than any regulation these entities can come up with. But if you let them continue to chip away at it, they will completely take it away from you forever.
Universal background checks. Well,
that's different.
I think actually your answer is pretty telling. Let me ask you another question. Do you believe that civilian ownership of machine guns are protected by the Second Amendment?
Universal background checks are different. That's not.
I asked you a separate question. Do you believe civilian ownership of machine guns is protected by the Second Amendment?
Whatever the courts rule in regards to the Second Amendment is what is protected by the Second Amendment.
Yet another telling response, colleagues, on another important issue. We've all talked, both sides of the aisle, about our concern about gun violence in America. I raise these questions because of an association I can observe between Mr. Patel and Gun Owners of America, a group staunchly opposed to firearm regulation, a group that Mr. Patel addressed in August, and a group that in December issued a press release applauding his nomination to be FBI director. Gun Owners of America has taken extreme positions, including the position that all background checks are unconstitutional and that civilian ownership of machine guns is protected under the Second Amendment.
The problem is the people given the FISA authorities in the deep state at the leadership levels, they're the ones that abused it. They're the ones that broke the law and corrupted it. And they're the reason we have such a revolt in this country against FISA. You talk about domestic terrorism or domestic surveillance. These guys took that process during Russiagate and targeted an American citizen to get into a president's campaign of all American citizens. Not only that, there's another application of FISA called 702. It's just another vector into how we collect certain data on emails and email hops and phones of overseas people. We're not supposed to use it here in the United States of America. Chris Wray was caught last year illegally using 702 collection methods against Americans 274,000 times.
274,000 times.
It's not my number. It's in the report that they wrote. The FISA court wrote it. And then the FISA court, and there was this big fight about 702 reauthorization. I know it might not be appealing to your audience, but it was a big fight this year to say we want FISA reform. And FISA did need reform. We exposed it and we gave you a bunch of reforms during Russiagate, and it never got implemented. So because the budget of FISA was up this cycle, we demanded Congress fix it.